tell me, where is the sun located in your natal chart? When you were born, tell me, where was the sun? What degree was it at? What planets were aspecting it? What house is it in your chart? And of course, this is the common question that people might ask: what is your sun sign? So the sun in astrology is very, very important. But in a way, it can also be kind of like the great deceiver, because the sun is not the whole person. The sun is what you represent, okay? What you represent, your soul, your soul's mission, and even your karma. The sign that your sun is placed in will show you the qualities of what and who you represent, and what your soul really looks like, your natural inclinations in this life. The house placement will show you what area these things are really going to be brought to the surface for you to deal with. Of course, the aspects to your sun and even the degree of your sun is going to add a different taste, a different texture to the quality of your sun. So for example, if your sun is conjuncting Venus, the normal definition of, let's say, sun in Sagittarius is going to radically shift, right? Because every planet that is hitting that sun is going to add another element, another layer to the definition of who you are and your soul's purpose, essentially, your karma. The sun also represents the father. It is very, very important to look at this, because if someone's relationship with their father was not good, that is going to show up and be replayed in their life until they really deal with it. The sun is also the rise and the fall of the individual. The sun represents our leaders, people in authority, our kings. It also can represent places like castles or government buildings, important places. It can represent famous cities, well-known cities. It can also represent summer holidays or places that you would go on a summer holiday. It can also represent fame. And this is where you can really start to see fame and that strength in leadership in somebody's chart. Again, the sun is showing you that person's natural inclination, what they really want to do, what they're most drawn to do, and what they really need to get out of this life and out of the majority of their situations. So for example, a Sagittarius wouldn't be able to handle situations that are lacking in truth. Someone with their sun in Gemini wouldn't be able to handle situations where conversation and communication couldn't flow. Someone with their sun in Taurus wouldn't be able to handle situations very well that didn't allow some element of beauty. Someone with their sun in Aquarius really needs that mental stimulation. Someone with their sun in Libra typically likes to be in environments or seeks out how things can be fair. Someone with their sun in Leo really requires that loyalty. Someone with their sun in Aries really needs that activity, that constant activity. Someone with their sun in Cancer really needs to feel safe. Someone with their sun in Virgo really needs to be in healthy environments. They need to feel like they are in a healthy environment. Someone with their sun in Scorpio is always seeking to dive deeper, to see how they can make things better. Yes, even better. Someone with their sun in Capricorn is always seeking to build, to get better, to keep pushing forward no matter what. Someone with their sun in Pisces is always looking for a way to go higher, to escape, and to really live a life that they truly, truly enjoy. Of course, the different house placements of your sun are going to add to this nature. And so are the degrees of not only your sun, but the aspects as well to your sun. If you're looking at a country and you want to know what's going on with the leader or different leaders, you can of course look at the sun. You can look at the fluctuations of the price of gold, for example, as sun does represent gold too, by looking at the sun. The sun represents that gold color. It can even represent the red color or the yellowy color, anything very fiery. And of course it represents very, very hot things. The sun is of course ruled by Leo and is strongest in that position. And what that really means is there are things that you can more concretely say about someone just by knowing that they have their sun in Leo versus someone who has their sun in Libra, right? The sun is not very strong in Libra, and so what that really means is that you really need to look at that person's whole chart to get a better idea of who they are. Now, I would say that with everyone, and yet there are more qualities that will probably ring true for someone with their sun in Leo versus like a conventional definition of someone with their sun in Libra. Some misunderstandings about the sun are that the sun is the whole being. It is the end all and the be all, and no, you are so much more than just your sun placement. That is a part of a huge part, and yet still a part. It is a big part of who you are, and yet there are other important aspects within your chart as well. Also, there is the ever-famed sun sign astrology, right? Because you are this sign, it means this. And especially if you have very significant aspects to your sun, well, guess what? You're not going to resonate with the definition of that sign, and even your horoscope, your conventional horoscope, might not be accurate. And when you're looking at your horoscope anyways, you really want to be looking at your ascendant sign ideally first, because that's actually what determines the house placements in your chart. So tell me, where is your sun place? What is your rise? What is your fall? What's the degree? What are the aspects? What house is it in? Where do you get your energy from? Because again, the sun is very much where you get your energy from. And for centuries, the sun has been regarded as the earth's god, right? The son of God, Ra, right? In ancient Egypt. And there are many, many other sun deities. So the sun is very, very important. It gives us life after all. And speaking of giving you energy, giving you life, please do join me weekdays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern to meditate with me live on Instagram. It will truly start to change your life. And if you do want to book your one-on-one appointment with me, I cannot wait to meet you, whether that's a one-on-one coaching session, a hypnotherapy appointment where we deep dive and remove your blocks and work on very specific issues, or your astrology birth chart reading to understand what your individual blueprint looks like. You can book that on my website, and I can't wait to meet you. Whether it's day or night, you know I love you, I love you, I love you. See you soon.